Welcome. We bid you welcome. John Clauser, Johnny Metal, the Metal Dad, coming to you from my music corner of the world and recovering from a bout of Montezuma's revenge, which I'm still recovering from. But anyway, I don't want to go into any of that because my co-captain here, John, the Music Nuts, already heard me go on about it before air. John, how you doing, brother? I hope you are doing much better than I am right now.
I'm doing well, and I'm making sure the retired women are screaming for more. How about you?
Oh, oh boy. Yeah. You could almost
I can say
say
it. I'm older.
yes, this is true. You could almost say that that the this little stomach bug I've been on has had me on the pain train. And yeah, I just I I I don't think I can come up with another reference to this off of this album on my current experience. But
Well,
Dangerous
you're a
Toys,
hard luck champion. You're gonna get through this, man.
yes, and yes, and hopefully my recovery won't get too strange.
Right.
But maybe I'm just a loser in the end. I don't know. But anyway, oh well, oh well, so what? It is Dangerous Toys December. We are talking about their third album that came out in 1994. I'm talking about their album called Pissed. Yes. Um, so they are dropped off the CBS label after Hellacious Acres. I noticed it only spent about 9 weeks on the chart. So it got on the charts, got up to about 67, and it was off in a shot, like a shot. So that probably, and of course, grunge starts coming along. So maybe that was a downfall for the band. I don't know. Danny Aaron by this point leaves the band. They fill in with a guitar player or two um, before settling on Paul Lydell of Dirty Looks, and he would stay with them on this album as well as the artist, and as well as all the current stuff that they do now. So,
Right.
um, interesting fact: produced by Billy Sherwood, currently in the bass position for Yes. So this was, and also a fellow by the name of Tom Fletcher,
Yes.
recorded in early 1994. Um, Recorded at the office in Van Nuys, California. Um, this is a straight to the punch album, if I don't say so myself. So John, with that said, let's 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 hear it from you. Let's talk about this album a little bit.
All right. Thank you, Sean. Outside of the guitar change, we have the same lineup here. We got Jason McMaster on vocals, Scott Delhover on guitars, Mike Watson on bass, backing vocals, Mark Geary on drums. As John said, this is just a straight ahead kick butt rock album. Uh, Pissed comes out of the gate roaring. It's heavy. First thing to notice is Jason singing in a lower register on this album compared to the first two. It's a good song, a good opener. Pain Train's more mid tempo. It's got a good groove on it. This is the longest song at 4:30. This is good. The Law
Note
Is Mine.
note that you said the longest song on this album is 4 minutes and 30 seconds.
Right. Yep. 10 songs, 38:18. We're in and out. We're making an album that sounds like it could have been like released in the late 70s, early 80s, and the fact that we're putting out a good 35, 40-minute album. I had to say good because I don't think this is a great album, but it just, it just comes in and out. Pain Trains is good. The Law Is Mine. I'm sorry. This I like this song a lot, but it reminds me a lot of one of my favorite bands, Kicks. This is Kicks.
Okay. Yeah.
And I mean in a good way because I love Kicks.
Hmm.
But Dangerous Toys to me shouldn't sound like Kicks, but I do like the song. It is catchy. Promise the Moon is a power ballad. Musically, it doesn't really grab you at all. It doesn't sound too different than a lot of power ballads. But for 1994, you're not going to get a song like this on the radio. I mean, this is when grunge was in full swing. I mean, maybe this was the end of the peak of grunge, but it's a tale of heartbreak. It has a good lyric. Jason's vocals on here are, little emotional, maybe even tender at times. So it's okay. Strange. This sounds more like Dangerous Toys to me. This is heavier. Um, it's a good song. Loser. Okay, this gets on to the theme. A lot of the theme here on this album is, and just by the titles, you could see they're in a place where their music is not in vogue and they're not happy about it anymore. There's a lot of vitriol going on. Loser's okay. The lyrics are pretty cool. Musically decent. Hard Luck Champion's my favorite song on the album. This kicks butt. It's got another good groove on here. I like the solo. This is one of the few songs I think the guitar solo really stands out. A lot of guitar solos are, they just come and go. I mean, they're not great. Like on some of the first two albums, you can listen to some of those solos and go, "Oh, that was very good." But here, they're just kind of in and out. Screaming for More's got a good chorus, soft verses, loud chorus. You got an acoustic guitar in there with the electric guitar, it's one of the few times you hear some of that Texas influence that you heard on the first two albums. And this is decent. The chorus is the best part of the song. Oh well, so what? Here they really sound pissed. This just comes here and just grabs you by the jugular. This is cool. This kicks butt. And Illustrated Man, it's okay. I don't think it's a very good closer. It's decent. No matter how much I listen to it, it just doesn't grab me. So all in all, I mean, I don't think this is as good as the first two albums. It's decent. There's a few songs. I was to make a Dangerous Toys mix. I'd probably put a couple songs from here, no doubt, especially Hard Luck Champion. It's recorded very well. I mean, Billy Sherwood did a very good job along with Tom Fletcher. I'm going to give this a 6.
Okay. All right. All right. All right. Well, it's weird. I think we might have a couple slight differing opinions on some of these
All
songs.
right.
This is good though. I like it. I like
Yeah.
it. Yeah, the first thing that you notice is when this album kicks off is just that you just get that supercharged Texas boogie with Pissed. That's the first thing that just grabs you. And then Jason's, like you said, that lower register, and he's just spitting out that anger emotion of the last couple of years or whatever, where, you know, maybe this is kind of a record company rejection hell song. I don't know, but
Yeah.
you certainly get that kind of feel. It's like, you always seem to piss me off. You don't know what I like, Oh man, this album just has all of that through it. It's like you just no. And then you do get some of the moody parts. You get that little moody breakdown before that goes right into the outro chorus where Jason kind of sings in that nice softer voice, but then it just builds back up to that spit again. Love that part. Pain Train. I love that opening riff groove with that nasty Texas slide in there. Ooh, I love that little sleazy slide thrown in there. I think to me the song has a lot of hooks to die for. Kind of talks about one of those desired love but never returned in kind of thing, because the woman's probably been through so much that she just doesn't have any love to give, but the guy's going to give it to her anyway. But anyway, Pain Train's always been that's kind of one of my favorite tracks. I always dug a lot of the stuff about that song. Law Is Mine. To me, Jason kind of he delivers this more of a almost like a drunken Texan punk. The law is mine, I'll do as I please. He kind of gives that kind of a feel. So it's like to me, I heard Texas, like punk meets Texas boogie, and that's kind of how I took this. So
Okay.
it's just so for me, let me see, I got to read my to me, it was like so many of the Dangerous Toys protagonists that you hear in so many of their songs. They're living their life on their own terms, and they're going to do whatever they want to do. And that's just kind of because what Tease and Pleasin's kind of got that way. You got, the guy in Bones in the Gutter, Here Comes Trouble, and some of the Outlaw, and some of those other songs, they have that kind of feel of that kind of, I'm just gonna live my life. And I think this theme kind of comes along a lot in this album. Promise the Moon is kind of your best of friends on this album. Although I think this one has, again, a lot more of the bitter anger, because again, why do they promise the moon? Again, this
Right.
could be this could be a record company thing. This could be a backlash at adults thinking, you know, telling us this would be easy, but when times got tough, they were changing their tune. Well, maybe, life has changed a lot over time, and maybe things aren't what our parents experienced. We all endure life a lot differently now. So, but it's a very tasty song. I love Jason's delivery here. They wake you back up with Strange, which again, very good up tempo rocker. Um, Again, I think another tasty solos here. Good Jason, another wonderful Jason delivery. But how many of us out for all those watching, how many of us really struggle with our mind? With our mind and some confusion. God knows the last few days, me dealing with Montezuma's Revenge, my mind's been all kind of goofy lately. So, but who doesn't? And that this could be like a little mental health check for a lot of us out there. So, don't if you are battling with mental health, please don't give up. please
Exactly.
please keep fighting. Loser. To me, I felt this was like a supercharged AC/DC with punk influences.
Okay.
Again, you kind of had that little drunken punk boozy sound of I'm a loser, not a smoozer, but to me, I thought it was just a strong song about, even though the strong comes across extremely confident sounding, the protagonist is not. He just doesn't seem to he just can't seem to, he can't cut it with the ladies. He can't cut it with the,
You can't get a break.
he
Yeah.
just can't seem to cut a break. I think there's a lot of really good lyrics here. Um,
Yeah.
let's see. I thought it was a nice little drum part prior to the solo part. I thought there was just a lot of good stuff going on here. Hard Luck Champion, like you said, probably my favorite song on this album. I love, love, love Jason's delivery on this album.
Mhm.
Absolutely love this album. Hard Luck Champion. I got my hands in my pocket, but there ain't no money. Hard Luck Champion, like a bee in the hive, but there ain't no honey. I mean, come on. How many of
Right.
us have been in those positions before, right?
Mhm.
Absolutely great song. Fantastic chorus, hooks to die for, and oh, that bridge.
Yes.
I just love that little bridge before it goes into the ending part. Definitely my favorite song on this album. Screaming for More. I love the acoustic beginning. That does lead into that more of a blistering chorus.
Mhm.
Um, let's see. Again, I'm trying to read my chicken scratch notes here. Oh yeah. This is another one of those songs where it's like you have a dream, but people are holding you down. Well, sometimes just keep dreaming. Just do, what was it? What's the one line that sometimes maybe just the eagle just wants to fly?
Mhm.
Sometimes that's what you just need to do. And you have a nice clean guitar solo, ends with a stomp. I thought this was a fun song. Oh well, so what? Complete attitude. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, there's so much attitude in this thing, but it almost lyrically almost seems a slight bit out of place given some of the lyrical references.
Mhm.
Because now we're talking about let's see. Oh, let's see. What's the best lyric I can give it? Let's see. And yeah, and I don't give a damn if she's ready or not. Man, I could see her leaving when I said let's just take a chance. Too bad I left my rubbers in my other pants. Ooh. Yeah, I think some of the lyrics felt a little out of place. This would have worked on maybe the first two albums, but still
Yeah.
still a fun song. Just again, live your life at your own terms. Maybe again, maybe lyrically just wouldn't fly at that point in time. I Illustrated Man, for me, I love this. I love this song. To me, I love this closer. It's just it's moody, it's very atmospheric and emotive. You could definitely tell it's a story about a man talking about his tattoos and just the stories that's on it. And
Mhm.
on those tattoos, there's just something, I don't know, there was something very emotive about this song that really grabbed my attention. So I enjoyed this closer a little bit, maybe a little bit more than whatever. I can't even think. Oh gosh, help me on Hellacious Acres. Uh,
Oh, yeah, I'm trying to
uh,
think.
uh, that bad guy.
Right. Okay.
Bad guy. Sorry, just lost my mind for a second. Um, there was just something that had that feel to. I don't know. Maybe it was something that's coming. I don't know. But I dug the song. I thought it was a good closer. I've had a great time listening to this album again, really reconnecting with it again for me. Because I had it back in the day and I didn't listen to it as much as I did the first two, but I still got some plays on it. So being able to really reconnect with this album has really been fun. I've seen a lot of the perils and just the frustration that bands and music companies have had to deal with, or bands that deal with record companies and things like that. And just maybe other frustrations in life. It just maybe now that I've turned 54 years old, maybe I'm understanding things a lot better than I used to. But so for me, I think like Hellacious Acres, I give this about an 8.5. It's just to me, there's a lot of fun. There's a lot of fun stuff that I listen to.
Mhm.
I probably shouldn't, but I still enjoy listening to this album way too much. And yeah, it's just Jason, again, if you ever happen to watch this thing, you know, uh good on you, pal. You did a great job with this album. I want to make note of the Tommy Pond's cover here with you get a little bit of everything in here. I think you got some Texas stuff going on. You got Bill breaking through the logo here. Um,
Right.
Unfortunately, I didn't see any Tommy stories in regards to this. So, but a smaller label that this was originally released on, called a label called DMZ Records.
Yes.
So a totally smaller label, but again, Billy Sherwood did a great job with helping him produce this thing, um,
Yes.
and I think a maturity and somewhat of the songwriting in the playing. So there
Okay.
you go. What kind of touring did these guys do in the time being of all of this stuff?
Not much. We had 11 dates in 94 and
Hmm.
7 dates in 95 to promote Fist.
Oh,
Now,
okay.
later on in 95, they're going to promote the artist formerly known as Dangerous Toys. It's all clubs, small theaters. I didn't see who else they were playing with. Well, they didn't list them on Setlist FM. I'm thinking it's probably some cool local bands were probably opening for them.
Probably.
Yeah, because they weren't on a big tour like they were with the previous two. So we start with the Mirage in Minneapolis, Minnesota, and they played there a few times for this tour. Sneakers in San Antonio, Texas, the Back Room in Austin, Texas, where I think they opened the tours for both the self-titled debut and Hellacious Acres there. The Basement in Dallas, Texas, Lone Star in Kansas City, Missouri, The Strand in Providence, Rhode Island, Club Met in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, El Rey Theater in Albuquerque, New Mexico, Shark Club in Las Vegas, Nevada, and Lakewood Hop in Lakewood, California. That was 94. 95, 7 dates. Red Square in Saugus, Massachusetts, the Mad Monk in Wilmington, North Carolina, the Ritz in Roseville, Michigan, not in Brooklyn, New York, Alrosa Villa in Columbus, Ohio, Studio East in Green Bay, Wisconsin, back at the Mirage in Minneapolis, Minnesota, and the Stanley Roper Music Ballroom in Grand Junction, Colorado. Not tonight, Helen. I have a headache. So there you go. There's your Three's Company reference as
There
well.
you go. Yeah.
And a shout out to Roper, the fine maker of quality. I lost my train of thought.
I can't
Quality
help you on it because I can't
items
remember
for
what they
your
did.
quality items in your kitchen, your washers and dryers and stoves that are best. They're reliable and they're cheap, and they're probably was in your first apartment. Made by Roper
There you go. Yeah. I was gonna say I
and
used to
your
I
dishwashers too.
I watched a little bit of Three's Company, but that's been so long ago, and I would not have remembered anything like that. So that's good idea for that one. Um, yeah, it's a shame that they weren't able to. Obviously, the smaller label, they're not going to get any kind of tour support. Um, didn't chart, so yeah, not surprised that there was. And I think the artist, unfortunately, when we get to the artist, I think that one plummeted even quicker. So,
Yeah.
which I'm just going to give a little spoiler alert. I like the artist. Some people don't, and we'll talk more about that next week's episode. But I kind of liked it for what it was back then. So we'll wait till we'll wait and talk about that next week. But um, Dangerous Toys Nation. I'm going to try to hit on a little bit of this. I just feel like I didn't do you guys enough justice with Hellacious Acres last week. So let me get, I'm going to get a little water or something in my gullet here.
The word was appliances. I couldn't think of the word appliances. It's been busy, folks.
Yeah, welcome. Tis the season, folks. It is
This is
December.
the season.
Let's see, what do we got here? Scott Roberts, he shows a picture of some of his stuff. Brett Dean's great album. Greg McMahon, my favorite album. I walked through all the doors, read all the signs, felt I had nothing to lose. Sums up about how a lot of people feel. I can kind of agree with you there. Tommy Pons here answers that when provocative lyrics regarding hindsight, 2020 into the reality of the record industry. Yeah, and those words also resonate from every person who has hit rock bottom. So yeah, I good stuff there. Mark Schmuth, my favorite DT album, Hard Like Champion, Screaming for More, Promise Moon, killer album. Eric Dittmore, give you a shout out there, buddy. I remember loving the album. I haven't listened to it in a long time. I have to put it on tonight. I will get back to that one because he does comment again. Ben Jammin, uh, creative name there. This is a great album. Promise the Moon is one great tune. The Law is Mine. Literally no filler on this album. I think this should have been the sophomore album. Just solid playing. Okay. Mike Hero, love this one too. Promise the Moon would have slayed a few years earlier on MTV. I would agree with that, as would have Best of Friends. Kirk Erickson, love it. Uh, let's see. Tommy Pons mentions here, it's a shame that Acres didn't include a few great songs, a leftover from the first LP. And he mentions a couple songs, one called JD Lady and Start the Party, but it might have had something to do with founding guitarist Tim Tremblay.
They
Um,
played them on the tour. They played them on that first tour.
oh, okay, right.
Yeah,
Okay.
they played them on the tour in '89
Okay.
for a few dates.
Okay. Amy J. Claytor Lockmer. Fabulous album. Laws Mine, Loser, Pissed are my favorites, but the whole album is terrific. It's my son's favorite DT album.
Nice.
Let's see. Richard Cleveland, Love Pain Train. Stephen Wing, great album. Promise the Moon is a perfect song. Eric Crow, great CD. Natalie Gallo, love this band. I hope we get new music soon. Anthony Carato, great album. Promise the Moon, Pissed, Loser, solid album front to back. Jesse Nagel, another killer DT album. Ryan Holgerson, Strange with the fire emoji. So apparently he loves that song. Tracy Smith, my favorite album by them. Trevor Randall, honestly, when I first heard it, I didn't know what to think. It was definitely a lot more raw. And to me, didn't have the catchy riffs and choruses I was used to. But after listening to it more and more, I really started digging it. And it has become as appreciated a DT album as the first two. By the way, my favorite songs are Hard Luck Champion and Screaming for More. I would agree with that. It definitely it has that catchiness, and yeah, maybe it was a little bit of a build, but boy, it built for me really quickly. Tim Prater, great album. Promise the Moon's terrific too. Everybody seems to love Promise the Moon. That's also pretty cool. Sanford, this album slays. The addition of Paul Lydell with Scotty on dual guitars works so well together. Time was tough for this brand of rock, so unfortunately it didn't get anywhere near the recognition it deserves. It is such a gem. Horns up. Brent Gerald's awesome every track, strange keeping up with the GNR guys though. Thanks to DMZ Dose for stepping up, as Jason wrote. Which yeah, I'm sure it was kind of hard because they did get lumped in that GNR sound, even though they really don't sound that much like them.
Right.
Um, Scott McDonald, Lydell, or however he pronounces his last name. Was a welcome return, raw, rough, razor blade vocals. It sounded pissed off. I agree. One of my favorites, bought this and Rush counterparts on the same day. Listened to
Nice.
this about a million times more. I listened to this one a million times more. So I'm guessing he didn't like counterparts as much. Although counterparts is a good album. I do like that one.
I like that
Um,
one a lot.
Let's see, Melissa Bailey. If I change the world, I'll do it with a beer in my hand. Love this line. But my favorite lyric from this album is definitely "You tried my patience, and I'm supposed to let you get away with it all." I can relate. Great album. If I had to pick a favorite, it would be Hard Luck Champion. Okay, Eric Ditmore, back to him. Great album. Listening to it last night. Thanks for posting this album. Let's see. And lastly, Michael Valdez, awesome album, heavier and well written. Love the first album, but can't decide if this is a better album. I love them all. So there you go. Dangerous Toys Nation, you have spoke. Love that. Love that they've put such really good input. You could tell these guys are really diehard fans of them. You can just get that sense and that feeling, and it's just so much fun. You know, so I'm grateful that they're taking part in this.
Awesome.
So there you go, guys. Like, share, subscribe. Tell me all what y'all think of this lovely little album here called Pissed. If you are a fan of this, of this album, if you are not even familiar with it, go seek it. I'm not even sure. I think it's on, yes, it is on streaming services, so you can get it on Spotify. It's worth checking out. If you're a fan of this band, continued on the legacy of this band. Let's see. John, I think you got something you want to throw out.
Oh, just one thing I want to say is they released this as this is a digipack. This came out this year, so you can still find this pretty easily. I got this at my local gallery of sound. Yep, that's it. There's no lyrics in it, but you know, they just put this back out. And the next album we're going to talk about, they just re-released as a digipack as well. And that would be the
This little
artist formerly
beauty.
known as Dangerous Toys. So yeah, so this just came out as a digipack as well. It came out a few weeks ago. So if you want to get your hands on them, we got new versions of these. And this one, I believe we actually got a lyric sheet, which we didn't get
I'm
on
pissed.
test. So well,
But if you're
it'll
like
come out.
if you're like me and you're able to track down an old DMZ version, um, there's the here's this has the lyric sheets, and then you have
Gotcha.
you have a couple of fun little drawings in here. So and then a fun picture there with Jason looking all maniacal and everything
Right.
like that. So you gotta love that. I think that's a great band shot. Um, but yeah, so yeah, we'll be talking about the artist next week. Let's see, John, you and I were just on a little thing with our good friend Mike Ladano on Grab a Stack of Rock. And we were talking Christmas songs.
Yeah. And it also plays, it's also available on my music corner as well. It's just under the title Christmas. So that's the same show that was on Grab a Stack of Rock. And oh, that was fun. That was my first show on Grab a Stack of Rock, and I had a great time. And great rapport with all the guys. And we all had some very interesting Christmas choice songs for our favorite Christmas songs.
I should have known the Canadians were going to pick one of the songs they picked. I mean, come on. I don't want to give anything away for all those who maybe want to tune into it, but it's so much fun. I highly
Yeah.
encourage you guys just to take the time to watch through some of the stuff because it really was a blast. I think I think maybe my picks were maybe a little bit somber because
They're great.
they were good. They're all good picks, but I had a couple of really somber kind of almost serious kind of stuff. Like, like the one song, well, there's a couple songs, but one of them is like so obscure that it's not something you can recognize. But I did have a couple of fun ones. So I guess I can't, wasn't too bad, but everybody had great choices.
Yeah.
Roger from the North and South Rock and Metal Connection made his debut. Yeah, made his debut, I believe, as
He did.
well.
That was, yes.
And, he and Mike have built a good rapport as well. So it was great having Roger on there. And Roger just was unleashed. So he probably could have gotten worse if if he had maybe a little bit more to drink. But love you, Roger. I'm thankful you got to be on that thing. So
Me too. And
what
we
else?
had Tim Durling and Peter Kerr were on as well, just to let y'all know. So if
Yep.
you're fans of their channels, they
They
were
were
on
on.
also. And they
Yep.
brought it as always.
Yep. So, so there you go. What else do we need to be plugging? You were doing the Rick Rude of WWE and WW and WCW that night too. How did you manage to pull that off? Because I didn't see you talking during when there was a break going on when that thing was going on. So Grant must have been nice and let you on TV or something.
It was very kind of Grant to do it. Well, no, we actually filmed the show the night before.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
we filmed the show Thursday night at 8 Eastern Standard
Now,
Time.
okay.
And Grant had said,
Now I'm with
yeah,
it. I was like, for some reason, I thought it was like, I thought that was live streaming too. I'm like, oh,
oh no, no,
no,
no.
no, no, no.
We
Okay.
taped that.
Yes.
And then Grant had said after the show was over, he said, well, this went really well. I'm gonna put this up quick. And he put it up the next night.
Okay. All
To the
right.
point that
Okay.
Byron Bolt, who was on it, was like, I didn't know this was coming out so soon. But so yeah, that's how I pulled the ravishing Rick Rude. So
There you go. So we got to get some wrestling things in here once in a while. So, but
absolutely. And that show was on the Whitford St. Holmes self-titled debut album. We normally do a one and done series on Grant's Rock Warehouse, but that one's a two and done, but we're only going to talk about the first album. Unless they want to talk about the second album reunion, I'm up for it. But yeah, that's out there.
gosh,
And
I completely forgot there was a second album.
I I only knew about it because they actually played Sellersville for that tour, and I should have went.
Hmm.
Kicking myself, but I did know there was a second album. I don't know how hard, I don't know how easy it is to find. The first album's pretty hard to find at a reasonable price anyway.
Yeah.
But we talked about that, and we're gonna be John and I. We're gonna be back. We're gonna be on Grant's Rock Warehouse, right? You're doing the show Wednesday.
I'm hoping Grant's remembering to put me on it.
So
So
I'll remind him. Say, hey, make sure you put me on that Wall Punchers because I want to be on that one. I got three doozies.
Yeah, Wall
So
Punchers 3 Christmas version. Grant's Rock Warehouse. I
yep.
think there's
And
a whole
then
bunch of us on there.
yep. And then I'll be doing something. I'm recording something with Peter Kerr Friday night. So as part of the rock postcard series that he and I have been doing. This will be his postcard that I sent to him. So sent to him. So
There you go.
so there you go. So yeah, lots of good stuff. Dangerous Toys fans, thank you again for tuning in and watching. Thank you for
Thank you.
participating in the threads. Next week we talk about the artist, and then January's coming, and we're just gonna maybe, oh, I don't know, have to do one for the road. We'll see how this works out.
Yeah, definitely.
We will see you very, very soon, y'all. Take care.
Cheers.